when I am to film a video, I usually record the tower in the background. So with the tower, you get the exact time at which I was working. You don't get a date, but you get the exact amount of which I was working. So for example, right now, it's 5:44 a.m. I can tell you this, and I can show you this sunrise. However, it could be a also I can show you this, but that's a secret. It could be green screen, right? Maybe 5:44 p.m. Who knows? And as a guy that's very prideful about my work ethic, I think this is kind of nice. So the phone is not great. Um, the phone in itself, the CPU and RAM are not great. They're not great at all. For example, I can dual stream. I can split. Okay, I can split screen. So most of the phone, what I'm gonna be able to do, I'm gonna be able to choose. Okay, well, this is how big I want the tower, because that's what most of the time we're. So when I say the tower, we play the tower with every single game you watch. I'm just saying the tower because it's the game that we're playing, and I'm honest and I'm transparent about what I'm doing. So take this game, which is the tower. Um, you get to choose how much of the screen is busy with the tower, and how much of the screen is busy with the camera. So right now, what we have is this for the camera, and about this for the tower. So together they do this, and this is my total screen. It's actually not bad. Um, so on this one you have half and half, which I mean it's okay, but at the same time it's a little bit too much. What's that problem? Well, because if you're recording the screen, you want something that's good. Also, there's no pop-up screen, so you're stuck at two. This is a phone that's 3 years old. This is a phone that's a couple of months old. Well, technically February, March, April, June, myself in May, not May, June, and July, and August. So that's 8 months. So this is 3 years old. This is 8 months, and this is full performance. However, there is the understanding that this also costs a lot more. Pop stream are not there. However, it's kind of crazy because when do I really use pop-up stream? I don't often. I don't often do that. I don't often need that. You understand? So to me, it's kind of odd that I'm complaining about something I'm very early using. However, there is a possibility that I'm complaining because knowing that I have that, knowing that okay. So with the S24 Plus, one of the big problems that we had lately is the pen. Um, the pen came undone. The S Pen came undone, and I went to buy another one. And in 3 years of using the S24 Plus Ultra, 2 years, sorry, we never used the pen. So what was I complaining about? Well, I'm complaining about the fact that we have something that we're allowed to use, but we don't have it. Right? So with the Unity, I feel that we don't have the pop-up. Is it the big deal in itself? And it's also pushing you to be more decisive about what you use and what you don't use. Do I really need a third pop-up? Do I really need a second pop-up? You know? Do I really need to have a dual stream? Yes. Is that enough? Yes, it should be enough. You know? And to me, that's beautiful. Next on this, we have um, functionality. Again, if I'm a content creator, I need things more. I'm just gonna blow my nose instead of doing. I think for most people, this is amazing. Now, I'll be completely honest and say I haven't used it for big games. For example, Wizardry, White Wizardry, Variant Daphne, Persona 5, PGR, Punishing Dray Raven. You know, I haven't used it for that. So um, when it comes to performance, I'm not really there. However, it runs emulator, it runs the tower. So, um, as a emergency phone, as a plan B, this is great. Now, I'm gonna be honest. The reason why we bought the S24 Plus was because I didn't like this phone enough. Why did I like the phone? It's a super good question. The phone was supposed to be used as a tablet. However, it was never used as a tablet. There's a problem of connectors that says that when I open the phone restarts. You understand? So this is a big problem. However, if I was able to use it more as a tablet, maybe I would have not even bought the S24 Plus. You know? So as a garbage phone, this is pretty freaking good. Now when I say garbage phone, do I mean garbage phone? No. I mean a phone for a smaller budget. Okay, you take a disposable camera. Maybe that's a quality than the camera, but it's not supposed to be the same quality. So as a phone as budget, it's actually pretty good. Um, Most people will use it as they wish. Um, the fact that there's an audio jack, it's amazing. Am I gonna use the audio jack? No. But knowing that it's there is absolutely fun. The fact that there's a radio, I've been looking for radios on the phone as an application. This one doesn't use Wi-Fi, doesn't use an antenna. It just is. Now, ultimately speaking, the quality isn't great. But again, it's all about perception. I perceive this as a cool trick versus I perceive something as useless. I think that the radio is cool. I have been listening to radio on my phone when it was broke. I was listening to it. And you need this antenna. And this antenna was weird because you have to be sitting at a certain angle to really capture the channel that you wanted. So this is really bad. Um, the UMD, the capacity to use a SD card is huge. It's huge because this phone can't, and the S24 Plus can't. The tablet can, for sure, but as a phone, it's been years since I've had a phone. The S10 Plus didn't use a SD card. It didn't use an SD card. You know, most of that I had didn't have an SD card, so it was kind of bad. It was kind of really bad, and I don't know. It sucks. It sucks because let me see this. I had expectation. To me, this is worse than the SN Plus. You know, the SN Plus is 2 models before what we currently have, but this is still a really good phone. Biggest plus of the UED is the quality of the phone itself. The way it feels, the size of it, it's big, it's fun. It didn't lag on me, it didn't reset. There's no bugs, there's no lagging. This one bug, this one is lagging. This one, I had a recording of 2 hours yesterday, and it just vanished. This is very problematic. This is very very problematic. You know, and to me, I'm like, dude, I want something that's reliant. The humidity I know won't let me down. As a phone, for example, it's kind of nuts because I broke the first phone while using it on the bike, and with the humidity, I was seeing that the shoulder was shaking a lot, and I was like, is it really a big deal? Not really, not really. And I know that's an asshole thing to say, but it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, pretty happy about my buy. Once again, it's a $215 phone compared to 3,000, right? So this is a twelfth of the price. Um, it's a twelfth of the price. Am I getting a twelfth of the performance? No, I'm getting a lot more. I'm getting possibly a 4 out of 12 performance. So uh, it's a pretty good trade-off. Now, do I recommend the phone? I mean, honestly, let's put it like that. Okay, I bought the SN Plus. I wasn't making content back then. I bought it in 2020. Well, I bought it during the pandemic. Did I need that good of a phone? No, no. I would have used a Umigdi phone. And I would have been happy. As a content creator, I don't recommend it. If you're using your phone a lot for work, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it because for work you're reliant. You gotta tell your boss, yo, my phone doesn't work properly. Cause like, you can tell you, hey, I have better phone for gas. You know, as a person that's using a phone for X, Y, Z, can I text? Yes. Is it playing a lot of the games to waste time? Yes. Is it able to go on YouTube and TikTok? Absolutely. It does a pretty good job at it. You know what I use? I use it for Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, the tower, filming. And it does all that except for filming. So it is a good phone. It's a good phone. If you air a phone, see, there's also this kind of political ways about the phone. If it's Chinese, so like, oh, you know, the whole spy thing. Do I believe in the spy thing? No, 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 no. I think the Chinese government doesn't care about what little England does. If England was a bigger content creator, possibly, but for now, you know, I didn't sign the pair of tits yet, so not that famous. Do I measure fame with signing tits? Absolutely. Absolutely. I watched Albert Stern. This is how I was brought up, you know. To me, just having this storage is worth having a shitty phone, you know. So now, again, the important part. Um, if you aren't a content creator and if you don't use your phone a lot, if you need a phone just to have fun, to make calls, to watch YouTube, to watch Netflix, this is a great phone. If you need it for something else, if you're using your phone a lot, is this the best phone? Well, it depends. You see, for example, right? For example, with the laptop, I use the laptop a lot, right? So I need a good laptop. If I didn't use the laptop a lot, I wouldn't even need a laptop. I wouldn't even need it, right? It's a question of how much you really use it. If you use it for it to be like, okay, I need to use it, okay, I need it, then get a better phone. There's other models. I was talking about the political aspect of it. The political aspect of it is quite important. It is in a lot of ways. Like, yo, um, you shouldn't pay. You shouldn't pay $2,000 for a phone. You just shouldn't. So maybe this is a way of saying fuck that. You know. Now, am I complaining about it? No. Because when I bought the phone, I had a good job. Didn't matter. People were making fun of me at work because like, haha, you're so dumb. You bought a 2000 phone. And I was like, dude, I don't have a car. I don't have houses. You spend way more than that in things that I don't need to spend on. At the end of the day, I use it a lot. You use a car. I use my phone. You know. And I think, lastly, because again, it's a long video, but lastly, I think that we live in a society where you need a phone, right? Everybody has a phone. You want to feel part of the thing. You want to feel like you belong. And the problem I had was, and actually that's a good problem. I was trying to uploading 6 hours videos on YouTube, and the video wasn't showing up. The video wasn't showing up at all. It was weird. It was weird. I was like, what the heck? Why is it not showing up? And second of all, when I went to post it, um, I would wait 2 minutes and it wouldn't show up. What did I have to do? I had to change. I had to use YouTube Studio. That's pretty much it. So it I think the other phone brought me simplicity. I think this one's bringing me hardship. I think hardships are not that bad. I think hardships are actually kind of needed sometimes. And because they're kind of needed sometimes, then like, oh wow, time to time to push myself to do something else. That's a good thing. Anyway, long enough video. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink if you're buying. Welcome to the Commentary Show. As we know, because I'm having a wonderful day on this. On 6/21st, August 2025. Beautiful scene behind me. There was the moon, there was a star and a star. It was gorgeous today. we're doing a new taste test. We're doing something called Jones. So Jones seem to be a energy drinks, but it also seem to be a sports drink. So I'm super excited to taste it because I never even heard of Jones. I never even saw an ad for Jones on social media, whatever. I'm actually kind of excited because this can be a verified juice, you know. And also, let's be honest here, the energy drink market is oversaturated, so possibly in a year Jones doesn't exist anymore. But here I am with the I forgot to make a thumbnail with the proof that Jones existed at one point. So Jones, as you can see, I love the design. I love the design. I think it's really cool, and I hope that this guy was paid. And they're like, yo, this is kind of cool. Holy shit, look at this. Made from Jones Soda Company. From Off the Ramp. Oh, I love this. Berry lemonade soda. Now, I'll be completely honest. I bought it at a different store that I usually go, so I'm not gonna buy this a lot. I'm gonna be completely honest. This was the last one. So either it's super good or either it's not selling. Without further ado, let's roll again. Smells really nice. I'm secretly hoping that this is not good because if it is good, I'm not gonna be able to get a lot of it. Okay. Tastes weirdly like Full Throttle. Nice. This is really good. When I say, I hope they pay the guy on the thing because if it is an athlete, it's kind of representing you. I miss days where most of the sponsoring people was from Red Bull was people that played at the X game. This is sports drink. People that play sports, right? That's what it is. For example, if you look at G Fuel, which is gamer fuel, it's the hidden gamers. The taste now, it's actually not bad at all. The blend itself. So, okay, so in this case, it's actually really, really different than what we usually do. And I know that you're tired of me saying so, but the blend is always important. Now, because Jones is a new product, or it's a new product for me, um, I don't have the idea what the blend is. However, I know that this flavor is berry lemonade soda. So we're taking away berry lemonade soda, we're putting it away, we're taking the gasified water, we're putting it away, and what's left is a blend. So the blend itself is important because this is the Jones signature. The gasified water, it feels gasified, but not too much. Like for example, and I know it's stupid to say, but there's just some of them that you know, oh, I'm gonna have burps. This one's actually quite soft, this one actually quite nice. So we like it. Wow, I'm just like it. I like it. See, the 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 good problem that you have, I can identify the berry very much. Lemonade, I'm having a little bit of trouble because the lemonade is sour and bitter, and the blend is sour and bitter. So am I tasting the lemonade or am I tasting the blend? Now, why is that important? Because it's super easy to do everything else. Um, you can see with chips, you can see with ice cream, you can see with products. There's no originality. Lately, it was spicy garlic. It was popular. Every chip company who had a spicy garlic flavor. So I'm tasting the berry, the lemonade. Why is it not hard? Well, because if 12 other companies are doing it, then they basically all taste the same. And the difference is where the blend is, you know? The blend is the important part. Actually, really nice. I like it. I like it. It does taste a lot like Full Throttle, but then this is really good because the berry are the star here. You can taste the strawberry, you can taste the blueberry, you can taste the blackberry. Now, would I personally put blackberry with lemonade? No. I would put I would go insane. I would go. um, I would go acai berry. My apologies. I would go with blueberry. I would go with strawberry. The most I would go is raspberry, right? Because they're all berries. And blackberry is too sour. You already have the lemonade, but at the same time, the lemonade is sweet in itself, so you know. Because you want to differentiate every single taste. What you want to have on your tongue? Okay, I'm a fan of the berry. I'm a fan of the lemonade, so I can taste both. You know, this is not bad. This is really good. This is really good. I don't know why. I can feel this guy. Maybe this is Jones. Holy shit. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. I picture myself go to a and again, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I've watched too many of the 90s movies. My apologies. I'm picturing myself go to an event, to an X game event or to a skateboarding competition. I also just watched the Real Bros in Simi Valley. So that doesn't help with price. Yo. Uh, eh, I'm picturing myself going to an event and this is being the product that they're selling. Not even selling, they're just giving it away because I'm like, yo, this is one of those concerts. And you see the ads talk about I'm Chicken Jones. There's just a very sports element to it, right? And I love it. I absolutely love that. And if I was going to an event and they would serve me that, I would be like, yo, this is pretty good. This is pretty nice. And I say I'm surprised. Do I love it? No. I'm being completely honest. I think it's good. I think it's great. But in the back of my mind, I'm talking about other energy drink that I would like more. So I don't love it when I'm comparing to others, but the product on its own as a entity, as a unique entity, it's actually pretty good. I would buy this again. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. And I feel bad saying I don't love it, but it's just because I'm so used to other, like for example, Celsius, for example, Monster, for example, Red Bull. I drank a Red Bull, they said it was zero sugar, and it was better than this. Does that mean that this is bad? No, it doesn't mean that. Red Bull has been doing energy drink for at this point decades. I hope you have a good product. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing? I'm surprised if I can. I'm gonna try to find www.jones.soda.com. .com. Okay, so it's American. Um, Canada. Okay, it's from Seattle. Oh, that's nice. Washington, Seattle. Not recommended. Two serving. You buy two. You can drink two of those a day. You keep on seeing me looking at this because we're having the sunrise, so it's gonna be beautiful. It'll be beautiful sunrise. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink if you blink. I love doing this and then this because this doesn't make any freaking sense. Except if you're like a 90s movie where there's a dance competition, then I sort of see it, but otherwise I don't. Don't blink if you blink. Welcome to the show. Because we are having a wonderful day on this, drumroll please, on this 21st August 2025. Today we're doing something that's quite nice. You can see the sunrise behind me, which is quite gorgeous. We are going at Tower Talk and enjoying some Jones and loading clips, because why not? The reason why we're doing a Tower Talk today is, again, to apologize. I fucked up. And I fucked up badly. So the plan, look at this, this is actually really freaking nice. The plan was to wait until, because yesterday I had a concert, but it's not a concert that I chose. So for example, I live in a city, the city to bring people together, to bring people, um, to celebrate the city itself, they have concerts, so you go there. And with the concert, it's actually quite nice because you see the band and you just enjoy the show. And what I like to do is I like to have, for example, the crown on the road. The crown I'm gonna do the tournament, right? And then what I'll do, I'll make sure that the shield and the sword are there, and I'll do a tournament while streaming, for example, Elden Ring. Yesterday, I gotta be honest, we streamed Elden Ring for 6 hours and a half. I got the file in front of me. 6 hours and a half, and we didn't do the tournament again because I was waiting for the concert. So then I left because I was gonna be late to the concert, always at the last second. Okay, you have to see this. This is beautiful. This is really nice. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be on the focus, but this is really nice. This is really, really nice. Bro, life is good. Life is freaking good. It's nuts because I feel bad I left the tower. I feel bad I didn't do the tournament, but again, do I really feel bad? Not really, because I was watching a concert. I was out there. I was in real life, so a bit of a mood point. So I'm sorry that we don't have a tournament now. Why am I truly sorry? Because Power Stone are only obtained via cash and tournament. Well, there is some milestone. It's not a lot. You cannot buy much with the milestone stone. I don't know if you can even buy one. I don't know if you can even buy one of the ultimate weapon. However, with the ass mods, assisted mods is gonna be super important. By the way, this is the second part of the video. This is the ass mod. So I asked my guild for people. What it is? Early morning. Early morning. Okay. The name of the guy in my guild. This game sucks. I wish he had a different name because I do like the game, but it's funny. I asked. I need info on Asmod. Each assist costs 1k stone to unlock. 1,000 stone to unlock. Which I gotta say, it's not that bad. And isn't that bad. You think 4,000? It's not that bad. You have an ancestral mod. You use it as assist, but and use it as an assist. Your assist level is only epic. You will use the epic effect instead of ancestral. So ancestral with ancestral. Some effects are used, but only a percentage of them. You can upgrade with stone to make. Ah, okay. Okay. So for example, I have okay. For example, this one, additional reactor, I have got 60 coin per wave. I got max recovery. I got 3 recovery amounts. Okay, that's good. Okay. So assistant mod is more self stats, if I guess. It doesn't still. I mean, listen, it isn't that bad. It isn't that much. And again, I'm not choosing the right one. So I do like this. Stone might be more important. Now, in itself, just adding more mods renders the gem useful. This season, this update wasn't great in itself, but at the same time, hey, we had some new stuff, and maybe the ask mod is something that we like. I'm gonna say ask mod. I love that people yesterday was complaining about the new mission, and people were like, because I'm on Reddit, and a lot of people were complaining on Reddit. I like Reddit because for some reason it's less politicized than there's less policies than on Discord. On Discord they're in charge of the server. On Reddit they're not in charge of the server. I don't think they are. So there's no but then also there's more people complaining, But hey, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't ring, kiss your bling, cook up the show. It's only well because having a wonderful day on this 21st August 2025. Today we're starting our day very, very simply. We're doing something that is kind of cool. I'm sick as a dog, guys. I am sick as a dog. So this is less cool, of course. But you know what is cool? This video today. I mentioned a couple of days ago that I felt like my life was an idol, right? And it's thanks to somebody called Trista. But I realized why I was saying that. My life, is it my life? Is it my life? It's idle. No. Because we're making content every single day. We're having fun. But it's just as part of routine. And it's insane because this year I played it so safe. For example, last year in the winter we had a depression because we were not able to go out as much as we used to. So this year what I did to counterbalance is I didn't go out as much. Now, is that a good plan? I don't know. Is it gonna stop us from being depressed? I don't know. I don't think so. But holy shit, is it cloudy today? Oh, there's no rain. So I gotta pick up my new phone. Well, my old phone, but it's new because it's repaired. So I tell you about that. So yes, we played it safe. Um, I could have worked way more this summer. But again, last summer, what happened is I got a depression. I got a burnout because, well, technically speaking, um, the the burnout started in fall and lasted all through the winter. And it got worse as the winter came in, but still not that bad. So, so it's kind of nuts because I played so safe. Then she was telling me about a good show. That we're reviewing Prison Break right now. And if I'm being honest, Prison Break, is it good? Yes, it's good. Do I enjoy it? I do enjoy it. But you know what I miss? And it's gonna be so stupid. I miss the morning that are so cold that you're literally seeing smoke or there's a special word for it. You're literally seeing smoke out of my mouth when I'm talking. You know what I was reviewing back then? Dexter. And I miss that. I really, really, really miss that. So because we play it safe, it feels more idle. I think subconsciously last year, we knew that what we were doing were dangerous. We knew that what we were doing was not healthy. I think that we knew what we were doing was the big sacrifices. And I think this year by playing it safer, we did do the sacrifices. And I think that's what I meant with my life as an idol. Not necessarily a bad thing, but not necessarily a good thing. I miss going the extra mile. I miss going above and beyond what I should do. You know? And ultimately speaking, I'm gonna be very, very honest, very transparent, very vulnerable in front of you. Ah, no, that's so dumb. I shouldn't say that, but fuck it. If this works and I get a community which I already have, but it's a bigger community, if I start making enough to survive with this, it's not about money, but it's about survival. It's not about money, it's about being able to have a dream, but also being able to survive thanks to that dream. We went to a show yesterday. In that show, the guy was talking about how he used to play in Metro and now he's on stage. And it was a beautiful thing. He took risks playing the Metro. We could have not worked. There's probably nights he went hungry, right? With how much I worked last year, with the sacrifices we made last year, literally sacrificed our mental health last year. If I was to succeed, I would be proud because I was like, we made sacrifices for a reason. Right now, right now, honestly, I am not able to say that I'm proud of myself. I'm not able to say that I'm proud of sacrifices. You know? Right now, we're thinking about getting a job. I miss working. I miss literally going to work. I miss having a boss. I mean this from what I'm on my heart. I miss having a boss. I miss being in a cafeteria that's loud, where people talking about shit that don't even concern me, they don't even interest me. Talking in language that I don't even understand. I miss it. Now, why is that bad? Why is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's normal life. Why is it a bad thing? Because last year I didn't have that. Last year I was like, I don't care. I want to make content. Is it because I'm doubting myself? Is it because I don't believe in the dream anymore? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't easy wing. Welcome to the show. Zing Wops are having a wonderful day on this 21st August 2025. This is another Tower Talk today. This is another apologies. There's a 4 hours video, 4 hours and 52 minutes of The Crown that doesn't exist. I was a dumbass. I uploaded the file on YouTube, didn't check if it was fully processed, delete the video. So now it's posted, but it's processing. And then what they'll do is they'll say, oh, we've been processing because it took too long. They did that. So I'm talking about this. Now, for the second part, you are seeing me right now, and this is dumb because you are seeing me right now do some tier 2 and tier 3. Now, what am I trying to do? Is like very simple. I know that tier 3 for Sword and Shield is about 4 hours each. So I'm measuring the time that it takes me to complete a run. Now, why are we checking the time that it takes to complete a run? It's super simple. Again, if I'm going to work or if I'm going to sleep, now that I have this in the background, I know that this is not enough. So this is basically why we're doing it. Is it the smartest thing to do? No. The smartest thing to do would be to go back to tier 1 and just see, okay, well, this is how much it takes. But at the same time, I want to test it out. Because tier 1, we already have the milestone. So technically speaking, there's no point in doing tier 1 anymore. Tier 2, we already have the milestone. Technically speaking, there's no point in doing tier 2. Tier 3, we ended up at 3,700 and we ended up at 4,300. So we're really close. We're really close. Now, at the same time, I feel bad because one of the labs that we're doing is for perks. And why do I feel bad? Well, it's pretty simple. Um, I feel bad because 2 of my labs are for lab count, discount, and lab speed, which are pretty normal. And one of my lab is for perks, and the 2 others are effectively for what they have. So yeah, so I do feel about that. But at the same time, when I'm done with the perks, this is gonna be done. There's too much more though. Like I need to do the perks ranking choice, then I do the perk option, then I have to do the bad perks, and then when I'm finished, I'll be able to do more perks power, more perk percentage, and it's gonna be huge because when I'm gonna be able to do that, oh, sky's the limit. Sky is the freaking limit. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Okay. And so did I. This is not bad. This is not bad. We're at 93.94. 93.94 oldie. That's huge. 93.94. Literally, you're literally seeing the crane work. How nice is that? How nice is that? And a third Tower Talk. Today I just had the best of news. I was looking at my labs because again we're doing a lot now. Of course the crown and shield, the sword and shield aren't that good. For example, lab for sword is 74, 74. Now if you know of the towers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lab speed and lab discount. What? This is dumb. It took it out. Oh, ink. Fuck. They took it out. Lab and Queen are 74 for shield again. Now, for crown, my lab speed is at 94 and my lab coin discount is at 93. So possibly the month of September and we're done with the labs, and then it's gonna be crazy because we'll have 5 labs to do. I'll possibly do bots. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Should I go for offense? Should I go for defense? I don't know. The possibility are limitless. Wow. Okay. I am tired of doing the same thing. Let's see around there. C'est quoi? Bon. What you know about life? Not a lot. Feeling so big, like. I love this. Aw. That's freaking. What's his name? From whom? Stranger Things. Tell these people.
Canadian. That's like $200. Every single time people over here talk, like they're like, oh my god, it costs like this much dollars. I have to remind myself that this is like Canadian dollars, and Canadian dollars is just Big Ten dog. So every single time someone's like, oh my god, I just spent like $5,000 over here. They only spent like 2 point something grand. Can we please normalize speaking in like USD or euros? Because this is so confusing. So listen.
Real life.
For anyone who is old enough, like me, to remember what life was like before the internet and YouTube took over and video games became mainstream, movies were God. I don't even know if the Oscars even happened this year. The last time they were ever relevant was Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, but if he didn't do that, no one would have known the Oscars were on. But before that, the Oscars in like 2014 or something, it kind of looked like just world-class professionals. You know, these guys are top of their line and everything. But if you look at the 1990s, the Oscars have a very different vibe. If you look at the 90s, the Oscars almost feel like demigod royalty. It's the vibe is like this. It's almost like the magic to it. Christopher Walken sitting next to Robert De Niro, sitting next to Al Pacino, sitting next to Meryl Streep, sitting next to Anthony Hopkins, sitting next to like Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones. It was just like famous famous, like everyone was ultra famous, just sitting next to each
Uber
other.
famous.
Now I look at the Oscars now, I have
No idea. But yeah, same bro, same bro. Salut! C'est un chuming, je passe bien. C'est pas une belle journée en ce 21 août 2025. Oui, 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 oui. Une vidéo en français. Il est tôt en tabarnouche, il est 6h30 ce matin. Mais aujourd'hui, on travaille, on fait des vidéos avant de travailler. Ça fait du sens, j'espère. Aujourd'hui, je vais parler d'une situation qui est assez vraiment cool. Un petit peu d'auto, je m'embrasse les fesses, d'auto, je suis le meilleur, d'auto love, comme on dirait en bon français. Premièrement, je pense que la vidéo doit commencer avec un bonjour, ça va bien. Deuxièmement, je pense que la vidéo doit continuer avec un merci la ville de la Chine, l'arrondissement de la Chine, la ville de Montréal, l'arrondissement qui contient Ville-Saint-Pierre, la Chine et Dorval pour les événements. La raison pourquoi hier on a fait la dernière show, on a fait les derniers spectacles musicaux, qui étaient en fait les pique-niques musicales du mercredi. Tous les mercredis pendant 7 semaines, qui est en fait presque 2 mois, il y avait un concert. Il y avait. Écoutez, moi j'en ai juste vu 2. C'est pas vrai. J'en ai vu 4, mais j'ai foiré. Le premier, je savais pas que ça existait. Le deuxième, j'ai venu à 8h. Je pensais que c'était à 7, c'était à 7h, je pensais que c'était à 8h. J'ai venu à 8h. Le deuxième, qui était Wally. Wally, j'ai vraiment trippé. Les gars de Saint-Michel, c'était vraiment nice. Le troisième spectacle, je sais pas pourquoi, j'ai figé. Je suis venu à 8h. Là, c'est comme, oh non, ça se passe, je me rappelle. Puis hier, Alex Burger, puis sincèrement, je pense que c'est une belle initiative. Je pense que c'est quelque chose qui met les gens de la Chine ensemble. Mais la capacité de spectacle. Je pensais toujours qu'il faut aller au centre-ville. Je pensais toujours que la Chine c'est trop petit pour les spectacles. Mais cette année, on a été choyés. On a eu des spectacles pour les festivités de la Chine. On a eu la Saint-Jean, la Fête du Canada, qui est normal en fait. Mais on a aussi tout ça. Maintenant, pourquoi on s'auto-bravo? Parce que je suis pas un gars qui sort beaucoup. Je pense à la pelle, dans le visage, dans ma façon de parlorion, que je sors pas beaucoup. Tu comprends? Pourquoi? Parce que je suis un gars qui est très très indépendant. Je suis un gars qui est très très autosuffisant. Faut donner un gars pour avoir du bon temps, tu sais. Je suis assez débrouillard, je suis assez. Je suis capable de m'entretenir tout seul, tu vois. Mais, je dis ça, je dis rien. Il y a quand même la situation qui se passe présentement. La situation qui se passe présentement, c'est assez simple. La situation qui se passe présentement, c'est que cette année, j'ai vraiment fait l'effort d'aller plus loin. De vraiment vous monter ma ville. Parce que je suis une petite ville, il y a beaucoup de monde qui font des archives de qu'est-ce qui se passe à la Chine. Moi, j'en fais. Cette année, on est allé. En fait, ce que je veux faire, c'est que je pense dans le côté de l'autodépendance, je pense que il y a beaucoup de grosses folies là-dedans. Je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de gêne là-dedans. Moi, si c'est dehors, je connais pas les gens, je veux pas avoir de fun, tu vois. Aussi rester à la maison, me faire un film, je veux faire du fun, je veux prendre des popcorn, une popcorn, un bon verre de vin. Ça va être bien correct, tu vois. Fait que, quand ça fait il y a 4 ans, 2021, la première année, je fais aucun. Je fais aucun. Parce que, attention, là, je filme pas ma face. Je filmais juste les jeux vidéo. Deuxième année. Je suis tellement gêné, puis ça, c'est une vraie histoire. Ça existe encore. Deuxième année, je suis tellement timide, ok, que je vais aux fêtes de la Saint-Jean. Mais que je suis pas dans la salle. Je suis quelque part d'autre. Je suis à côté. T'entends la musique, mais t'entends pas tu vois pas la scène. Ta musique, mais t'es pas là. Puis je suis allé pour les feux d'artifice. Fait que la même chose. L'an passé, je me rends sur la Saint-Jean. Saint-Canada, je le fais. Je suis dans la foule, je m'amuse. C'est fun. Cette année, même chose. Cette année aussi, on a fait les spectacles. On a fait pyrotechnie au parc Saint-Michel. On a fait on a fait on a fait 4 spectacles pour les pique-niques musicales. On a fait les fêtes de la Chine, on a fait les fêtes de la Saint-Jean, Canada. C'est ça quasiment qu'on a fait. Tu comprends? C'est pas incroyable. Sauf que, vraiment, on a mis un peu plus d'effort sur la vraie vie, sur mon quartier, mon entourage. Qu'est-ce qui fait que j'habite ici? Qu'est-ce qui m'influence? Je pense que la ville où est-ce que t'es né, je pense que la famille où est-ce que t'as. Je pense que, en fait, plus simplement parlant, moi, c'est tes parents qui vont t'influencer beaucoup. Je pense que tes amis vont avoir des affaires qui vont l'influencer beaucoup. Je pense que l'influence commune, c'est les valeurs de la cité. C'est que si t'es, je sais pas moi, j'ai écouté le Dexter aussi. Puis pendant de Miami, à quel point il y avait beaucoup de Cubains à Miami. Puis la culture de Cuba était vraiment présente. Et que les valeurs qui étaient prisées par les gens qui viennent de Cuba étaient présentes à Miami. Tu vois? Mais les de la Chine, je sais pas. Mais on a vu ça, puis je suis très content de moi. Puis en fait, je voulais encore dire merci à la Chine d'avoir fait ça. Parce que, c'est, oui, il y a une espèce de volonté de ma part d'être plus inclus dans ce qui se passe. Mais aussi, ça ne dérange pas qu'à pas je suis inclus s'il n'y a rien qui se passe. Tu vois? Puis c'est pas mal ça. Anyway, je vous aime. Passez une belle journée. Ciao. Ok, good. Là,
If you haven't. Excuse me.
Really fatigued recently. Huh? Okay, I'm down. Let me drink this coffee first,
I'm
okay?
down. And I prefer old. Whoa. I prefer old. Old. What's it called? By the way. Mm. Same people. You see the same people posting all the time. A Catarina. understand. Okay. Yeah. Okay, working. Work, bro. Work, work, work. Okay. Don't blink, is you blink. Welcome to the show. Good to hope you're having a wonderful day. As you can tell, we are sick. So yeah, so not a good time. Not a good time at all. But hey, we're gonna, you know what? We're gonna make the best out of the best. And the worst will have to wait. So, without further ado, I present to you the video of the day, which is, of course, drumroll please, Prison Break. Now, we did restart a computer, so what I need to do is a couple of search to find it. Why did I do it before? Because I like to do these when I do my intro. I get to talk to you guys. I get to ask how y'all doing, how y'all doing. Something about saying y'all is very, very fun. I still haven't found in secret the page, but we're looking. So how you guys doing? You doing good? How's life been treating you? I hope well. I hope y'all are having a wonderful morning, day, afternoon. By the way, we're also uploading to YouTube and TikTok, so if it's taking more time than usual, well, your boy is doing more work than usual. And you shouldn't be rushed when you're doing something nice, should you? Now, we're done uploading, so now we can pretend like we were looking since the very beginning. Yeah. I was trying so hard. And guess what? We found it. So today, I got a lot of batteries, got a lot of energy. However, use some more. Jones, I'm making a video, bruh. But today, we're reviewing. If we get a lot of time, I'm gonna try to do 2 videos. Because if I could do 3, I would be so freaking happy. And if I could do 2, I would feel like I didn't choose you. However, later on today, I might do some more. And now it's not working. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's cold outside. It's mad cold outside, bruh. Who sees? Shit. Yes. We're too loud. So one too many. Now this is already episode 11 out of how much? 22. So we're already halfway through the first season, which is an eighth of what I have to do. Prison Break. Michael is built a apparel, a machine for evaluating the time that they have for evading. At Westmoreland, join the groups. Westmoreland is, I feel like, CPAT. So this is actually quite simple. First thing that we have is a reminder of last of yesterday, which is kind of funny. We got um, it's kind of cool because it sucks because it's kind of cool, but it sucks because we're seeing more of Sarah and Michael. Now, I gotta say, the whole thing feels pointless. The whole thing feels like it's one bad dream. It's always Michael and Sarah. Then they fight, then they get back together, then they fight, then they get back together, then they fight. But in this case, it's actually quite nice because it does show just how hard Michael worked. And again, I think what I didn't really picture in the beginning, again because I didn't see the show in a while, is you're literally trying to show that Michael, who was using Sarah in the beginning, is falling in love with her. So there has to be this flirtation, there has to be this these banters. If it was too easy, Michael would be like, "Yo, I know I fell in love with you, but I cannot explain to you why." Now the scene that we have, and also the importance of the show. For example, we don't know every single PI lesson. We don't see every single time that they have to dig the hole. There's a lot of things that we don't see. We don't see every single little battle that they have. Um, and this is not important because at the same time we have this narrative. Um, Possibly Michael and Sarah, or more than the Prison Break in a show called Prison Break. Kind of insane, but if that's what you, if that's what the writer want to do, what they want to do. So um, we had a good scene between Michael and Sarah, which sucks because right after, Michael will bring his wife there. Um, we see this is actually a really cool for a whole show. This is really cool. So we have the agent that found them, and he wants to look as hurt as possible. So what he does is he uses sandpaper, and he sand his own face. And the next one is what? Sandpaper using on the wall. That I actually really enjoyed. This is really cool. Now, Teabag is having problems. Everybody, CPAT who's joining up. Now, this is kind of of problematics because CPAT wasn't part of the plan. Tio wasn't part of the plan. So Tio does some racist remark, and then CPAT answers like, why did Abusi doesn't work? Now, here where it gets complicated. Michael, his original plan, we don't know how many people he had, right? If he had two, if he had three, if he had two, then how fast are they willing to destroy the ground? Versus if they had seven, it's a lot faster if there's seven, you know. But there is some hostility in the group. Each and every single one show is 40 minutes. That's not bad. So we got Bellic and the wife of Michael. This is problematic because she's not really his wife. She's a hooker. He gave her a green card. She's gonna give him a credit card. Or this is the ramification, which is important. Bellic knows her. So Bellic is like, yo, I met you somewhere. You got Sarah who see the wife, and she's like, yo, this guy is a liar. This guy is a piece of shit. We got more of the battle, but this is kind of cool because, see, for example, right? For example, let me rewatch that a little bit.
While we're doing this, so what are you doing? Going shopping.
Good, good. Musically, with more people becomes there's more pro, there's more frustration. What I do like here is nobody has a problem with CPAT. Nobody has a problem with CPAT. Nobody has a problem with Tio. Again, in a game where everybody is trying to bring something, the more dead weight you have, the more it's felt. So they're trying to think that Michael, and at the same time, it's like, yo, how come you keep bringing people in? Do you really have a plan? That is something that is super cool because they're basically trusting a guy to get them out of there, but they don't know the person. So this is kind of nuts. So Sucre tells them, well, you have the credit card, you'll get stuck. Then we see that Michael had a security card, and we even saw that he had a lot of time to do the programming of this card. Now he goes into his personal effect, where he has this watch. This watch is very very special because he had, which is actually crazy, a special ring picked out and a special credit card picked out. Both of these had a purpose. That ring is a very is using a very conductor metal. So the plan is he have this watch that has a big batteries, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna put it on a timer. Now, what he's gonna put is kind of like a landmine. So he'll put it, and each of the time that a guard pass, I'll be able to record the sound. And when the thing stop, okay, well there's a lot of guard that pass. We have how much time? We have 18 minutes. This is kind of cool. And this is where you see that he's trying to involve Sucre, but he isn't able to, right? And he isn't able to because, for example, I can explain to Sucre, but Sucre just doesn't love him. Which sucks because Michael is a genius and being a genius is pretty lonely. We see Veronica and Nick, and they have the agent. And he's like, please help me. And Nick is like, no, I'm gonna help him. And then this is so cool because Veronica is like, remember the guy who helped us get into the apartment? Remember the guy who opened the door? Remember the guy that sacrificed himself so we could be alive? I'm not gonna let it happen twice. So that she's more helpful towards the agent, because she's more helpful towards the agent, it's a problem. Now here's the crazy part. In this one, um, the agent has a clear motive, but it's not as simple as Slenderman. Slenderman is I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. These guys having more fun. Um, so it's it's a mess.
Don't you reckon? But you gotta tell me exactly what they know.
It's a mess because this guy feels a lot more evil than Lindemann and the others. Why is it a mess? Is he classic? Okay, let's put it like that, right? He's a classic villain. Letterman and Ale are villains in this story because they're trying to frame Lincoln, and Lincoln's one of the main characters. Understood? Okay, cool, 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 cool. However, Ale becomes a good guy. Letterman has some. He has some restriction. For example, LJ's gonna come and kill him, and instead of going to defend himself, like yo, LJ, you're not gonna do shit, bro. You're not gonna do shit. Put the gun down before somebody gets hurt. You know, Letterman doesn't feel like the biggest bad guys. This guy is unreliable, and also, what makes a good show is okay. So I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. I'm gonna very, very much spoil it for you guys. Letterman is a good villain. There's another guy, another agent, and this agent is a lot better. He's a great actor, a very good actor, right? And in Prison Break, the villains are nice. The villains are nice. Ultimately speaking, the villains are a company, but the company don't care because they're not there. Take another show. We just finished watching Lost. The show we're Lost. The villain's John, and we love John. Take the show that we watched before. The villain of we were watching Dexter. I miss Dexter. I want to watch Dexter again. Take Dexter. Who's a bad guy? It's fucking Dexter, bro. I mean, so now it feels bad because we got Tweener and DB, right?
Yeah.
So DB is contemplating going out and not going out. See, the last thing he did was against Bellic, right? But it's so complex because technically speaking, he helped Michael out by burning the PI, which is number one. Number two, doesn't mean that he wants to escape. Yes, I help you out if I'm trying to towards you guys, but I'm not gonna do the trick with you. Now, there's Tweener. Tweener feels bad. So Tweener is here is very complex. Tweener he asked Michael asked DB, hey, somebody stole my watch. And he was like, rumor has it that this guy has sticky finger. Sticky finger is expression to use that when he steals. So he asked Tweener, I need you to steal a watch for me. And then Tweener is like, yo, if I do that for you guys, then make me a PI. Now, technically speaking, this is where Tweener. See, this is why the show is so good. Michael is a new inmate, but he has people inside. Tweener is a new inmate, but he doesn't have people. When you're looking at Pi, he's looking to join a crew. The blacks don't like him, the whites don't like him. Looking to join a crew, right? He's not even looking to escape, which is kind of cool. In here, it does feel very bad because Twitter is like, Michael is like, yo, if you steal this watch, there's gonna be a prize for you. And Twitter's like, yo, yo, dude, I'm a join PI. We'll think about it. And then at the end, he ends up stealing the watch, and Michael doesn't give him anything in return. So Michael kind of fucked him over. However, Michael did protect him against Teabag. So technically speaking, Tweener told him. So then, this is just. This is just bad. You got the government who is just trying to pick at them. But it feels more like torture than anything else, and it feels like unjustified torture. You got Tweener who's doing some rap, which is actually pretty cool. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing where Michael says, "Yo, get me this watch, right?" This is actually pretty cool. You got one of the most important scene ever. Now this is very much so a problem. So DD, okay? Now this is where the show gets complex, and this is where the show gets good. By the way, you don't want to see the sunrise? So the whole thing, like, first of all, Michael, the worst thing that he did was lie to Tweener. Now this is possibly also the reason as to why he wants DB to leave, and he's like, yo, I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna leave. So I'm gonna give up. There's a possibility that he so sorry. So we got a very, very important scene. And again, I think this is a scene that kind of exaltates Michael. So we have Billy Cooper that's the Pope. The Pope says, listen, I'm sorry to say that, but your daughter is very sick. She doesn't have a long time. And DB's like, yeah, but since it's such a bad period of time, you're not gonna allow me to see her. And the Pope's like, no, I tried, bro. I cannot do anything for you. So this will give the Pope, this will give DB a reason to, um, will give him a reason to, how do I say this? To want to escape. Now, DB was a no. There's a chance that Michael had Tweener join the crew because DB said no, and they had a spot. Now, ultimately speaking, is it said in the show? No. Are they specified in the show? No. So I don't know. So we have the scene where Tweener comes in and he's seen as stealing the watch, which is actually pretty cool. Um, we got get the governor, and it's nuts because it's more torture. This guy is just straight up cruel. He's just straight up cruel. And what they do, which is actually kind of cool, is they trap him in a hole. Why is that kind of cool? Because this guy was straight up evil. Would you do that to Letterman? I don't know. I don't know. So it was kind of nice. DB comes in, gives the watch to Michael, it gives him a cell. Learn DB and Tweener are cellmates, which is cool because DB will not take advantage of Tweener. Tweener is a young guy gonna protect a young guy. He's like a younger brother. Um, so DB's like, yo, I need part of this. And Michael's like, yeah, but you're not DB Cooper, I need DB Cooper. And DB gives a deal of cash on the bench. Now, why is that important? Because Michael, because he studied the case in and out, he knows that the serial number of the bills. That's kind of important. Um, LJ leaves, and then he has the gun. Now, the important part is um, this is so fucked up. The governmental guy, good neighbors. Here's Ozark. And Cemetery. And yeah, all this dreaming. So yeah, what's kind of cool is the agent's such a piece of shit that he put him in a hole. And he blew him. Agent's such a piece of shit that he calls hell the Letterman. And like, nah, fuck you, we're not gonna help you. The sign of revenge, what he does is he writes the name of the two agents for like justice, which is absolutely phenomenal. Michael hides the device, which is kind of important. There's a device and they decide that they have 18 minutes. They decide that they have 18 minutes, which is a certain amount of time to get to the infirmary. They say it's 2 minutes per people, so there's 20 people. Now, of course, the first one to go is gonna be Teabag. Um, it sucks because Tweener didn't make the list. Maybe there was two more people, you know. So Bell goes to a strip club, and then he goes to see Nina, which is Michael's wife. And he tells him what's the truth, what happened. And then Nina tell him like, yo, she betrays Michael. And people will be like, yo, she didn't betray Michael, but she did. I'm gonna be very, very blunt here. She tells Bellic what Michael asked her to do. But like, yeah, the Bellic was gonna send her back out to the country. Yeah, but who got her in the country was Michael. If it wasn't for Michael, the guy you betrayed, you wouldn't be here. Understand? So yeah, Michael goes in, he's interviewing people, DB proves that it is the right person. Sarah confronts Michael and says, "Yo, guess what? I know you're married." And Michael tells her it's more what do we call it? it's more complicated than that. Now, the cool thing is that it's actually phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Because the cool thing is, how do I say this? So it's like, yo, I understand that you want to flirt, but you didn't have to go as far as you did if you're married. I don't even care that you're married, but you went too far and you made me have feelings. So you realize that tires are so human, right? But again, we got the cops. It's super funny because Letterman spit on he spits on the guy just to show how much he hates him. Again, it's an opportunity for hell to say, listen, we're going too far. Which we get you, bro. We get you that as involved as is. Again, we know that if one too many people. This is how the episode ends. There's one too many people. So got season 1, episode 12, Redemption. Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. There's a whole episode of backstory to the trains. And Lincoln warns Michael um, that a member of the group has to be put aside. Abruzzi warns he's gonna kill Teabag if he doesn't leave the group. So and nobody wants to leave the group, but Abruzzi's like, yo, I'm gonna kill Teabag. I'm gonna rid the world of this evil, and then it's tough because this is why. Like Abruzzi, but at the same time, it's actually a shady plot because I'm gonna kill Teabag if it's one too many, and then John is gonna find John Abruzzi and find God, which is a great thing because possibly Italian, possibly very religious. But at the same time, dude, this is not the moment right now, and you're putting the whole planet in danger for a belief, which is trades, but a belief that you didn't have in your whole entire life. So we have Michael doing more and more. You see, this is the craziest thing. People are asking Michael, "Do you work as much as you pretend you do?" And Michael is literally always working, which is great. For example, he's gonna be using a button. This is so cool. Look at this. This is so cool. He's working very hard. He has a role. He has everything in here, and it's kind of nuts because how do I put this? I wanted more moments with Michael working. You know, the breaking the breaking the floor is good because of the banter. Does it lead us somewhere? No. So now we have um, we have Fred calling his cousin to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna be escaping. Here's the plan, and if it doesn't go well, tell the Pope. Because he knows that he's about to run out. So this is T-Bag being smart. T-Bag is very smart. Um, Now, CPAT listens to Lincoln, and this is kind of crazy because CPAT listened to Michael and Lincoln talk. He's like, yo, I think there's 20 people, right? And then this is such an important scene. It's a beautiful scene. I love that scene. So everybody, when they see this one too many, everybody looks at T-Bag and says, fuck you. And then T-Bag's like, no, I don't think so. To my cousin, see. And if it doesn't work, we tell the whole time to the Pope. So we need to have it. What do we see? CPAT is telling Sutra what I told you before. So it tells you, hey, you think Michael tells you everything? And Sucre has the facts. Like, yeah, he tells you everything. And then CPAT tells him, guess what he says? Guess what he tells him? I bet you tells you things the less you know the better. And Sucre kind of doubts Michael a little bit. So that's super cool. They go to Veronica and Nick. They go to the hospital, but then there's a bullet. So they say, no, don't take me to the hospital. They're gonna call the cops. Why did you go to the hospital then? It's so dumb. Um, kills Sarah and Michael, which is kind of sad because it's always an in and out. But in this one, it's not like she's pissed at him. She's hurt. He hurts her feeling. And when you're mad, you're like, ah. Oh. she'll chill, but then you hurt her feelings, you feel bad, right? So yeah, the next one, see that the sun is going up, so as we continue inside, the Abruzzi, ooh, is starting to believe in God. Now this is a cool thing. Abruzzi, you see, he's talking to Lincoln. Why is that a cool thing? Well, because Abruzzi didn't talk to Lincoln before. Abruzzi didn't want to go to Lincoln before. This is an evolution. Yeah, the sun is too strong. I'm gonna have to go in. Because it's very important for you to be able to see his truth. He said, "You're good. You're still recording. Nice. And you're good. You're still recording. That's awesome. That's awesome. Perfect. Okay. You see how sunny it is outside? Take this, bro.